Have you ever wondered how much YouTubers make? Well, this is how much I've made from 10,000, 25, 50, 100,000, 250, all the way up to where I am, which is 360,000 subscribers. Today, I'm laying it all out there. It took me about 7 months to reach my first 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. At the time, I was making 3 videos a week. And when you see this bump here, that's actually when I went down to 1 video a week. And those 10,000 subscribers equaled out to 612,000 views and making around $2,000. At this time, I had like 1 video that went well. That was like half my views. But I invested in a camera. I got a Canon G7X. I think it was like a Mark II. I also bought a MacBook, which was like $1,200. So in total, I still lost money at this point. And I had no sponsorships or affiliate links at the time. Then it took me quite a long time to get to 25,000 subscribers. I had a point here where I was losing subscribers every time I posted for months. And I think that's the point where a lot of people quit YouTube. They have this point where like nothing's really happening. They're putting the exact same amount of work, same product. You feel like you think they're good videos, and yet they're just not really connecting. And I thought about quitting here, and if I had, I wouldn't have had the success, which you're gonna see later. This is like the valley that you gotta get through if you wanna make it to the other side. At this point, I had 1.7 million views, and I made in total $5,894.28. This is where I started to have my first brands kind of reach out to me. Generally, they were just offering free product in return for an ad spot, which for me was super cool at the time because free stuff is great, but it wasn't a lot. I wasn't really making money off that. I still didn't have any affiliates set up at the time. So this was pretty much all I was making, but this is generally when you start to have brands actually reach out to you instead of the other way around. So that's what happened. Next up, we had 50,000 subscribers, which equaled out to 3.4 million views, which is kind of crazy. And at that point, I kind of had my first days where I was making over $100. I had one day that made $232, which was absolutely mind-blowing to me. The total at that time was $16,386.10, which is still not like a livable wage for the amount of time I was putting into this. At this point, I started to get a few different sponsorships, generally ranging from like $200 to $500 for a sponsorship plus free product. So that definitely did help. I didn't get all that many. It was one every other month or something like that. So still not a ton. This is also where my expenses went up because I upgraded my camera because I was actually making money. I was just reinvesting it pretty much all back into the business. So I bought a new MacBook Pro because the MacBook Air that I had gotten before died because of all the editing I was doing. So that was like $2,400. A Sony a7 III. This was my main camera. I also bought this 50mm 1.8 lens, which I did all of my shooting on. So everything was shot at 50mm, which is very far away, so it made things difficult. I also got some microphones at this time, Video Mic Pro, and a little like adapter thing for it to go into. I bought a really cheap basic lighting setup, which was super frustrating to use. So yeah, at that point, I still wasn't making much money. But now we get to 100,000 subscribers, which equaled out to 8 million views. I had like a couple days here where I broke $400 and $500, which was absolutely crazy. However, with YouTube, things kind of go up and down, so you're gonna see that didn't stay very long, but it was super cool while going through it. Had a couple of videos that kind of popped off. And we're now into 2021, so it's been a couple of years at this point, and I have made a total of $47,000 during all of this time. I had 2 other jobs that I was working while doing YouTube and also renovating an apartment, so there was a lot going on. And it was around this time when I started getting ready to leave my job. And it was actually like before this, between 50 and 100,000. When I left my job, I was making on average $500 a month, so I didn't really make it through YouTube. I was living off my rentals and then like a couple side hustles I was doing, and then YouTube was kind of something that as I put more time into it, that's where kind of that explosion happened. Before that, I had a job, left my job, things got a lot better on YouTube. I don't know, glad it worked out that way, but also glad that I had invested in rentals. So at like 100K, I started definitely getting more companies coming to me offering me sponsorships, generally from the $1,000 to $3,000 range, because it doesn't really go off of subscriber count at all. It goes off of average views. I had really good average views. I have pretty much for the duration of my channel. So for the beginning, it was absolutely horrible. This is when I started to invest more into my mind. I got some books. I started going to a few different seminars and things like that. So a couple $1,000s throughout all of that stuff. Took some editing courses, got a few miscellaneous things, probably like $1,000 on gear throughout that time. But overall, this started to seem like maybe I can actually like make a living doing this. Now we're on to 200,000 subscribers. You can kind of see that like each time you have some viral videos, your baseline kind of goes up. So that's what tended to happen here. My baseline just went up and up and up. And this is very much like the compound interest effect that you're gonna see everywhere. Same thing with my channel. We had 15 million views, 201,000 subscribers, and that equaled out to, I had one day that broke broke $600, which is crazy. I don't get those very often. As you can see here, there's a lot that are a lot lower, but I actually started to make a little bit of money. At this point, I still would have made more money working at McDonald's. Over the past like 3+ years it is to get to this point. And my total for that time period was $104,251.50. Now this is where I started to hire help. I hired an editor. An editor for me is costing generally between $20,000 and $25,000 per year, something I still have going on. So it's actually becoming a business at this point. I start to have expenses. It's not just me, but sponsors start to pay more, maybe between $2,000 and $5,000 per sponsorship. I start to have a few different affiliate links and make maybe $500 a month off of those affiliate links. So this is where things actually started to kick up after years and hundreds of videos at this point. Really cool. So before we get into the best month that I've ever had, this is where I realized I had been kind of doing things a little bit wrong. And I started to really organize everything about my channel and really systematize things. Started using Notion and actually have my template if you guys want to check it out down below. It's free. And just really organizing everything in there. Started building systems on how to come up with like endless content ideas, how to spend less time writing and shooting, outsourcing more stuff, building some monetization systems so I don't just make money from AdSense and from sponsorships, but actually building a business around it. And honestly, if I had known all this stuff when I was starting, I would have made way more money and probably have a much bigger channel right now. And I'm actually going to be doing a workshop where I'm going to share my 4-step process for creating a YouTube channel that kind of runs on autopilot with all the systems around it, how I shoot my videos and make them look super cinematic. Pretty much trying to give all the information that I've learned over the past like 5 or 6 years on YouTube and just give it to a bunch of people so that they can have the best chance of success on their channels. So if you want to find out when that info drops, there's a link down below. We got up to 300,000 subscribers. At this point, there was a couple months back to back, which were absolutely crazy. I had one month where I gained 27,000 subscribers, had 2.2 million views, and earned $20,000 off of AdSense, which is absolutely insane, but that doesn't always last, as I will show you in a second. But this is pretty much way more money than I've ever made in my life. I had a couple months where it was super good, gaining just an insane amount of subscribers, insane amount of views. Also, sponsorships were up at this point, anywhere from like the $3,000 to $6,000 range. Affiliate links started picking up, but I still wasn't like huge on those. So those might be maybe $1,000 a month. And it also really depended on what type of content I put out. If I put out something on minimalism versus finance, how much I get paid can be like 4 times more on a finance video than it would be on a minimalism video or a saving money video. So that really depends as well, but I didn't really look at that as much because I've never really done it for the money. It's been more for like, I love making this content. So whatever I'm excited about at the time, whether I get paid more or less, that's what I'm going to talk about because that's what I'm excited about. But when you talk about money, you make way more money because that's just how it works. So now we're at 312,000 subscribers, almost 25 million views, and my total income was $183,931 over the life of the channel at this point. Most of that coming inside of that last year. All that before was just years and years of buildup that kind of took off like that, but then it started to die off a little bit. So fast forward to today, I'm at like 360,000 subscribers, a little over 30 million views. In total, I've made almost $230,000. But you can also see that it kind of dropped off the map a little bit there because there's always these spikes where it's crazy and then it drops off and then spike again, then it drops off and spike again. So we're in one of those downs right now, but I'm actually having more fun now than I ever have before, even though my income dropped by like 75%. But I don't really care because I'm having more fun. I'm making more videos that I'm passionate about. So even if they don't explode as much, I think I'm making better quality ones. So I'm enjoying it. And now, while not giving any specifics for brand deals, they're probably going to be for most channels my size, anywhere from like $4,000 to $10,000. Also affiliate links I've really focused on in the last year for things like different stock apps. With like Webull, you can get up to 12 free stocks when you open and fund an account, pretty much free money. Also have an Amazon affiliate store where if you like buy anything through my link, I get like a certain percentage of that, not very much. But that's something that I want to grow out a little bit because there's products that I use all the time that people ask me what I use, and I would like to make a little bit of money off of that because it helps with reinvesting into the business. My team has grown a little bit, so it's probably $20,000 to $30,000 per year for my team. So yeah, that's how much my channel has made and probably other channels make that are similar size to me. So now you know. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.